Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Students with Disabilities, Children, Teens, and College-Bound Cyber Fraud, Identity Theft, and Scams. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. And before we get started with that, I just want to start out with our mission here at CIL. Our mission at CIL is to promote, educate, facilitate, and assist and advocate with and on behalf of people with disabilities in partnership with their communities to achieve their goals for independence. We serve Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton counties, and we have a number of programs. Our 5 core services are individual and systems advocacy, information and referral, independent living skills training, peer counseling or mentoring, and transition services. Our other programs and activities include assistive technology programs, amplified telephone program, equipment loan at no charge, social and recreational activities, support groups, and community education and training. And we are a regional consultant for all 5 titles of the Americans with Disabilities Act. If you need to get in touch with us, you can come and visit us at 21 South Tarragona Street, Suite 101, Pensacola, Florida 32502. You can call us and make an appointment at 595-5566. And you can also visit us or contact us by email at info@cilnwf.org or visit our website at www.cilnwf.org. Next slide. So here are some tips for a successful training today. If you will remain muted for the training, the CC will appear on the bottom of your screen, and you can choose the way you would like to have captions from the prompt, whether that be live transcript or closed caption. Type your questions in the chat area to make your notes, and we'll try to get to those questions at the end of the presentation. Or if you want to contact us directly, if you have any questions during the or after the presentation, you can contact us after the presentation, and we'll be glad to send those over and get an answer for you. And most of all, enjoy the presentation. There's a lot of information and a lot of good information, so just enjoy the presentation. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ivonne to continue and let her introduce herself and start the training.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Ivonne Perez-Suarez, and I am representing the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Our department is a statewide agency, and it is currently headed by Florida Commissioner of Agriculture, Nicole Fried. And I am with our Division of Consumer Services, and I am the Consumer Service Outreach Coordinator for South Florida, covering 6 counties. Why would you contact our division? Well, in the state of Florida, we serve as the clearinghouse for everything that is consumer information, consumer complaints that somebody may want to present. So we cover all that. And why people would contact us in Florida is because you need to find out about a business. You want to do some research on a business or a charitable organization. You would like to fill out a consumer complaint, or you just do not know exactly where to go or who to reach to with a concern or an official complaint. Maybe you've been a victim of a scam or a fraud or are aware of one, and you want to know exactly who to present your complaint to. So you can contact us. There are certain industries within the Division of Consumer Services that the department regulates, and this is the list. This means that if you open up a business within one of these industries, then you would need a certificate from us before you have, or you can open your business in the county or the city that you're planning to. You need something with us before you can have it through them, okay? So the kinds of things that the programs that we regulate are, for example, fair rides inspections, your church fairs, your community fairs, health studios, which are your gyms and your Pilates studios. We do the motor vehicle repair shops, interstate moving companies, pawnbrokers, petroleum devices and products. We also do the Florida Do Not Call list, agricultural dealer licensing, sellers of small business or business franchises, sellers of travel and travel agencies, telemarketing, weights and measures, and professional surveyors and mappers, pawnbrokers, anyone who solicits contributions in the state of Florida, charitable organizations, we do that as well. Complaints. How did the department do last year? Well, last year, our department received over 35,000 complaints, secured $2.4 million in refunds for Floridians. That means these are the people that may have lost money or were victims of a scam or a fraud. Then this is the money that they've lost and we've been able to return to them. As far as Consumer Assistance Center, our center received 190,274 calls, chats, and emails. So between those three things, that's the number that we received. And that's also how you can reach us via phone call, chat rooms, or email. Now, the scammers have a profile. So what is the scammer profile? Who are these people that are committing these crimes? They can be anywhere. They can contact you anywhere in the world now due to technology. So, but the scammers, they follow the headlines and they change with the headlines. So if we had COVID, their focus would be COVID-oriented scams. If it's hurricane season, then it would be anything related to post-hurricane activities. They are professionals and they know exactly how to take advantage of people, and they use high-profile tactics, and they put a lot of pressure and they appeal to the victim's emotions. The tactics, they pretend to be someone that you can trust. They create a sense of urgency, something like you need to send us the money right away. You need to wire us the money. If not, we'll have law enforcement at your door, that kind of thing. And they use untraceable methods of payments. That is usually wire transfers, reloadable cards, gift cards, anything that's rather difficult or impossible to check. Now, what are the 10 top ID facts and statistics? Okay. It happens every 2 seconds. It happens mostly in the medical industry. Your child's identity can be stolen, and we'll get into that a little later. It can happen online or offline. Social media makes you the more susceptible. There are over 7 million victims a year. More than 1 billion records were leaked last year. Identity thefts could steal everything you have, and it can take millions of hours to recover the money lost. And you can minimize but not eliminate the risk. Now, what are the scams targeting children and teens, which is today's focus? A lot of people do not understand that, or are not even aware of the fact that ID fraud in children, and that is 0 to 18, is $1 billion industry. And for scammers, it is a lot better for them to steal from them than from adults, because it will take a lot longer, so many more years, to identify that their IDs were stolen. and compromised. So once they become independent, then it may be too late, because now their records have been damaged and their credit is non-existent, and it's very difficult for them to then become more independent in the sense of maybe they want to purchase their own car, a house as adults, because that credit has been damaged for so many more years. And there's a very, it's very difficult to trace how it was stolen or even misused. So parents, legal guardians have to be extremely careful, especially when the child, for health reasons, uses a lot of medical assistance, or they have a lot of assistance from government agencies in whatever way that may be. So that they become even more susceptible. So online, so the top 11 right now for children and teens is online shopping scams. They may want to buy a new iPhone, and they come across an alleged store and that is just selling it for less money. So that's a shopping scam. Pay to pay, so they may want to buy something that way, and they may also lose money that way, because they'll try to make a purchase, the person says it's $500, and then they never get the money back, or they never get the actually whatever was the item that they bought returned, and the money is stolen. So we have to be very careful. The fake contests, those are also things that we need to be careful about, because again, maybe there's a contest they see online where there maybe tickets, maybe right now, for example, Taylor Swift is having a concert and everybody wants tickets. Well, that's one. Oh, I'm selling tickets, send me the money and I'll get you the tickets, that kind of thing. So we have to be very careful with that. We also have to be careful on that kind of things that we usually see on the internet of, for example, oh, what country do you look like you're from, or that kind of thing. And then it tends to guess what it is. Or we have to be very careful about anything that's internet related. So online quizzes, for example, the talent scouting scams. Oh, you'd be perfect for modeling, or you'd be perfect, to perform, or anything else. That we have to be extremely careful about. The pop-up scams, the money transfer scams, which are, send me the money via wire, the money transfer scams, the online gaming scams, the financial aid. Now we are heading into the end of the year, and the kids are, thinking, well, where am I going to go? Where am I going to apply? I need financial aid. And they come up, well, we can get you the financial aid, we can get you the resources, but we have this program that we can do it. But for all this research, you give us like $200 or $300 and we'll process, it's a processing fee, and we can get you some financial aid. We have to be very careful about that, because a lot of these things can be done, these researches can be done for free. You don't need that. The phishing texts, okay? People pretending to be somebody that they're not. The free service scams, which is again a bit like the financial aid scams, and the sextortion scams as well. Those are the top 11 scams, and number 9 and number 11 have to be extremely careful, because we're seeing in the media some things that are tied in between number 9 and 11, how they're using number 9 to get to number 11. Okay, they're, you know, well, you've got a picture, or you have a text from someone, you know, maybe young girls that see a text from, oh, a cute boy, and they may start some kind of relationship, that it can lead to sextortion. And we have to remember that these are children. So we're seeing that kind of thing play out in the media. By the way, the child IDs can be stolen from newborns to 18. So it's not just, you know, 14, 15, it's newborns. So college graduate students, what are they seeing? Financial aid scams and financial services. So they can contact you with, you know, we have a great service, provide us with your personal information, pay upfront fees, and then they obtain the and wire us the money. They obtain all the information and the money. So they're really doing this for the information to steal the IDs. The unpaid tuition scams, the scammer contacts the student or the parents claiming that the tuition bill has been unpaid, and that payment needs to be made immediately. The online income scams, those prey on college students and then promising a job online just to make a quick buck. And then the company will either ask the student for money up front, or again, send them a check for the work, and ask them to send a portion back. So for example, I told you I was going to pay you $1,000, and I send you a check. The check is not legit, but I send you $1,000. I told you it was 500. I send you 1,000. I call you. I said, I'm sorry, I sent you the wrong amount. Can you send me the check again? You know, can you send me the money? So you send them $1,000, but the original check didn't go through. So that kind of thing. Buying books online scam. They use set up fake websites and offer great deals on textbooks that are never delivered. And the roommate rental scams. We see that a lot here in South Florida, but the scammers, they normally pose as individuals. They're renting you a room or renting you an apartment, and you know, you go through the process. You give them the money, and in exchange for, you know, the apartment or the house, and once the payment is received, you eventually realize that there is no home and there is no property, or you come into the apartment that you may have seen and it actually belongs to somebody else. So how can we protect them from all these scams and frauds? So number one, talk about the risk of online scams and watch out for them. Be very vigilant. Number two, tell them only to shop on trusted sites. Remind them not to click on links in emails or text or group or pop-ups. Remind them never to share their own family or family's personal information. This is really important because we put out so much information on our social media that it is extremely easy for the scammers to actually create a profile. The parents as well. You know, if you're posting your child's first birthday, then what soccer league they're on, or all of these things have locations. Sometimes they have uniforms if it's in a team. So you're actually creating for a scammer a whole profile of that child. So when asked anything, oh yes, I lived here, I went to such and such a team. So you're creating an identity for the scammer. So we have to be extra careful of what information we put out. Teach them not to share passwords. Don't give children your payment card information, okay? Use built-in browsers or pop-up blocker options and pop-up browser extensions. Purchase a password manager family plan, and that creates unique passwords for each site. Your passwords should be changed every 3 months for everything and anything that you do. Check your child's credit report, freeze your child's credit reports. you can do that. The earlier and the sooner, the better. You may want to check with each of the 3 credit agencies to see if maybe they've even been compromised. If you have received any mail, for example, from a credit card company, and it's under your child's name, your child's credit has been compromised, and their ID, rather, I'm sorry, has been compromised. So you may want to check on that. If your child falls victim to an online scam, you need to report it to the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission. What are the facts? Child ID fraud losses of $688 million were reported last year. New merchant accounts and checking or savings accounts are most likely to be opened with personal information stolen from a child. 1 in 80 children was affected by ID fraud last year. The losses per child fraud victim increased, namely because the overall number of victims, the overall went down, declined over year over year. The number of children whose personal identity information was exposed in a breach increased year over year. 91% of US households have children who are active on social media. Children's social media accounts are criminals' favorite to take over. Again, why? Because it's going to take them so much longer, a parent or a caregiver, to realize that their ID has been compromised. 7 in 10 parents or guardians disregard the need for monitoring their child's social media. That is extremely impressive. If 7 out of 10 parents disregard the need. 54% of parents and guardians say they do not monitor their child's activity online, and 51% of US households give children access before the age of 7. So what is actually happening is really without us knowing, we're giving these thieves just ample territory to do their scams and their frauds. What do we recommend? Freeze your children's credit and enroll them in a full-time identity theft protection service that includes social media monitoring. Limit, I know it's maybe hard, limit and monitor all screen time. Educate the children about the need for privacy online. Remind your kids not to chat with strangers. Continually educate consumers about child ID. Encourage consumers to sign up for the text and email alerts. Promote ID protection, and that is for the whole family. Also, a very strong VPN is important to have on all your computers and phones. Freeze the child's credit, and get as much information, be as educated as possible about ID, child ID theft. We also have to work together to really spread awareness about what is taking place on social media as far as child ID theft is concerned. The government, educators, and we have to promote a lot of more awareness. We have to get people aware of how children are cyberbullied. Our department offers a lot of information and brochures. We have a monthly newsletter that you can subscribe to. It's free. We have one in English and in Spanish, with a lot of information and news related to the scams and frauds. Our division, we have, for the Spanish speakers, we also have a number where you can reach us, and we have a number, of course, in English. We have the 1-800-HELP-FLA and the 1-800-FL-AYUDA. And again, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all of you on Friday, December 2nd for another presentation. This one is going to highlight scams during the holidays. So I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you.
Go to the next slide.
Do we have any questions from the chat or from anybody?
Nobody has thrown any questions in. Ivonne definitely covered everything that was that I thought was in there. So no questions were being asked during this time frame.
If you go back one slide, you can go back to the information, the contact information for those of anybody that have a question later on as we post these webinars. You may watch it later or send it to a friend or come across our website, and you can contact Ivonne with your question or concerns or any material that she may have at a later time. And that information is on the screen. And then if we move forward,
Next one.
next one, you can also contact us, and we don't, Ivonne has a certain expertise and she does a great job and knows more about this stuff than we do. So if you have a question and you only have our information, we can contact her and get the correct information for you. So if you want to contact us again, you can do so by calling us or checking out our website, emailing us. You can email us at info@CILNWF.org, or you can visit our website at www.cilnwf.org. And we can get those questions or any material that you might need or want. We can help out with that. So
Next slide. Bam.
okay, you can go on to the next one as well.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That was it.
Okay, so we look forward to seeing everybody on December 2nd at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to talk about scams during the holidays. And I know that will be an important topic of discussion. So looking forward to seeing everybody then. Thank you very much.